So here we go. We're going to get into some dad stuff like right away. My name is Jay Kalryzian. I'm the founder and CEO of the Zen Dad method. And this is Rodger Ruge. He is the head coach. And we're going to dive right into some dad stuff. I've got a couple of questions that came in over the last couple of days. And I think one of the big overarching things that's happening right now, because it's December tomorrow. It's December tomorrow. And holidays are here and shopping's here and all of that. Kid, what do I get my kid? What do I do? What do I like? How much do I spend? And it gets so overwhelming so fast. And I've already started my holiday shopping, and I know I'll just keep doing it until Christmas. And I'm like, I've tried to put on the brakes so many times on this, but I get so excited, you know? So that's a big thing. That's a big topic. I don't know how you feel about this, Rodger, but what do you think about holidays and the shopping and the presents and kids and all of the things?
Oh, trigger warning, everyone.
Oh no. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is on this stuff. I'm curious.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a dad times two, and I have girls that are now adults and they're amazing, empowered women. I take no credit for this. I nudged and guided and got lucky. And they, of course, are now having their babies. So I'm a grandfather two times over.
Oh yeah.
And what do you do with this holiday madness? So I'm going to give a couple of perspectives, but one of the things I think is kind of neat about the whole idea of all the shopping, for a lot of people, they're not excited about it because life is maxed, and it's just maxed under absolute normal day to day. And then we throw in the holidays and the pressure, the obligation. We're adding something to a plate that has no room, right? So for most people, I think the vast majority really are almost dreading most of this aspect of the holidays, the presents, the money, the credit card bill that's going to come after it takes away a lot of joy. It's a joy-sucking thing. And then we have also the materialistic aspect of it.
I have such a different point of view on this. I love this. Okay. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, I just think a lot of people are there, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
of this mindset of how can we flip that script and make it something that's more enjoyable and really think about setting some boundaries. I'll give you an example. My mentor, Dr. John Mason, this man is awesome. He is also a man who's totally raised a couple of amazing sons. And one of the things he would do at the holidays, and he called it the Holla, Holi dash DAZE, days.
Not days, yeah, because you're in
Yeah,
a
like,
daze.
oh my God. So he would make a game of it. And he and his son would wait till the last possible moment, literally Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and go shopping.
Yeah.
And the very first thing they do is go to a mall and get a hot chocolate and sit and watch other men who had waited till the last minute and were in frantic hell,
Yeah.
running around, and they'd laugh about it. And then they just allow intuition to guide them to the gift or gifts that they were purchasing. And they had a really good time. They laughed the whole time at the madness that was around them. What I find interesting is I got to watch this boy grow into a man with John Mason as his dad.
Yeah.
And this young man is grounded, centered. He doesn't get upset about anything. He just flows through life. And this was a direct result of the parenting he got during times of crazy holiday stuff. Let's make it fun.
Let's make it fun. It's supposed to be fun, right? I love that idea because there's always a day when I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some shopping today. And I'll like put on a Christmas outfit, and I'll get like an apple, hot apple cider or a hot chocolate or something. And I just like walk around the mall singing Christmas tunes with a Santa hat on and just be ridiculous. And I'll try and buy the most ridiculous things. And I'll talk to people and I'll like go eat a meal in the food court, which I never ever do. So I do all these things. It's part of the Christmas event for me. And I have so much fun with it. I've had so much fun over the years with it. And I always look forward to it because it's a ridiculous part of it is the shopping. the shopping is ridiculous. And everybody does it on Amazon now, or they buy stuff online, and it cuts down on all of that. We just had Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that whole deal. Everybody, I got all my shopping done on that weekend. But you can make it fun by going out and getting into it. And how does that feel? Get a bunch of bags and you're just walking around smashing into stuff, laughing about it. Why not? Why not have some fun with it?
Yeah, and get creative with that. If you want to learn how to have fun again, ask your kids.
Ask your kids. They know.
Just ask them. They'll say, well, let's go do this for shopping, Dad. You'll get an idea you never thought of because you're in the grind, man. You're in the grinder. You're thinking about all the negative stuff that's associated with the holidays. And let's be honest, there is some. And what if we thought about bringing just a smidge more joy? Wouldn't that just be a much more enjoyable holiday? Now, when we talk about presents, I come from a very small family.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife has a rather extremely large family. And to them, Christmas is a big deal. This is the holiday of the year. There are lists. There are 1,200 cookies made. I'm not kidding. That's a real number. And it goes on and on. And I remember walking in one year to this literal mound of presents taller than the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Because of all the kids and the grandkids. It's a lot of people. I remember thinking to myself, sweet Jesus, what is that? Like, have we turned a very special time of giving and love and celebration into nothing more than spending outrageous amounts of money and getting things that the kids are going to probably not even be playing with a couple of months later?
Well,
They'd rather play in the refrigerator box than the toy I just bought for $100.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate that? And one of the things I came up with, Jay, and it was really beautiful, we would take part of our Christmas money and sponsor a family that didn't have the ability to provide for their children for Christmas. So that was one aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And the other aspect was, for every toy that my daughters received, they had to give up one toy, and we would also donate that toy in good condition. So there was an exchange happening, but also giving happening, because I think that one of the things that sucks the joy out of Christmas is really forgetting what the tradition is actually all about. This loving from the heart giving, not just consumerism.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. Like, I got little ones. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. So it's like it's on. And I always tell them, okay, we've got to make room for new toys. Like, we've got to get some of these old toys. Let's bring them into, Goodwill, or we've got a bunch of places around here that we can donate to. And I really like that. I really like that aspect of Christmas is, okay, let's give back so that, other people can get toys also. And there's toy drives. We always get a toy drive with their school. They always do something like that. But it's really putting the emphasis on, what are we giving? Because it's so easy for them to be like, what are you getting for Christmas? What are you getting for Christmas with their friends? That's the energy of it. And it's like, how do you switch that to, what are you giving? What are you doing for your family? What are you creating? And I've gone this year. We started this last year, but it's what gifts are we going to make for people? Because I want them to put the energy into it. So we're making Christmas ornaments. We make Christmas cookies. We get pictures from the year, and then we just go to the dollar store and we get the little magnet frame, the slide-in card thing, so that people can put pictures of us on their fridge. And that goes in the Christmas card. Okay, well, what pictures are we going to get? Let's get those printed off, and then it's literally like a 25-cent present, but it goes up on people's fridges. And then whenever you go to their house, you see you see your picture up there with the kids, and you're like, you got that. That's awesome. So I love that one. But it's like these really easy things that take a little bit of energy for your kids to actually be involved in the giving process. It's not just like, okay, who do you need a present for? Let's go find something at the mall, or let's find something on Amazon and order it. There's a difference to it. Let's make this stuff for them. Who are we going to give to, and why are you giving it to them? I think that's really important. And I'm not a traditional type person. I change traditions in my family and my life all the time. So all this Christmas as like a religion doesn't really, it's not really part of it for me. My Christmases when I was growing up was always consumerism. It wasn't a religious thing because I didn't grow up Christian. But I'm celebrating Christmas. I'm like, well, like there's some conflict there, and there's all these other holidays. And I've lived in China and it was Chinese New Year and everybody would get red envelopes and it was all about the red envelopes with the money in it. So it's like the same kind of feel all over the place. But what is it that really works for me and my kids? That's kind of what I'm trying to navigate around right now. And how is that evolving and how does that change? So that's really a big topic for me. Every year I'm kind of chiseling away at what it is that I want the holidays to be. So yeah.
I love that reflection. This idea of involving the kids, I think that we tend to take on too much that doesn't involve them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're just little embodiments of creativity. They don't have the restrictions that you and I have. They don't have the obligations you and I have. They're not thinking about anything other than fun. They want to tap into fun, involve them, ask them, and let that creativity expand, because it's more than just getting through the holiday season with a little more ease and grace and a little more fun. Remember what the goal of being a Zen dad is and being an amazing parent. You're raising beautiful men and women that are going to enter this world. If we crush creativity, if we don't stoke it, we're missing another parenting opportunity
100%.
to step fully into.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's about being present in the moment, having those lens for whatever the situation is. And I think that the holidays, it's full of opportunities all over the place, just constantly. And you've got to be present enough to realize, oh, that's what's really happening here, instead of getting all worked up in obligations and everything that comes along with the holidays. It is overwhelming. It can be super overwhelming. And where do you dial it back and where do you focus your attention? So yeah, great point.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's got so many different belief systems especially in the United States and Canada as well. We've got a lot of folks that practice different forms of Christmas. Some, it's a very traditional, like you. I was raised in a pretty consumer-oriented Christmas, but it was also religious-based.
Yeah.
And it was a very stern religion, right? Because I was raised Lutheran. And just to give you the Reader's Digest version of Lutheranism, it was Luther who broke away from the Catholic Church for two reasons. One, they were too liberal for his needs. And he felt that at that time, the Pope was the Antichrist. Ooh, so I had the most fun possible way of experiencing Catholicism. And so, but with that was the Christmas holiday was about the birth of Jesus Christ and the amazing miracles he did on earth, right? So my orientation was mangers and the baby and all of this, right? So there is beauty to be found in those places too. And no matter what your faith is, remember that if that's a foundation of how you're moving through the world, Christmas offers another opportunity to explore this side of ourselves, the spiritual side of ourselves, to take a time out for a minute from everything. And what if we just explored, if nothing else, if you have no other foundation, you're not religious in any way, what if we just took a moment and felt deep gratitude for the ability to have what we have, share what we can, and move this world forward in a beautiful, positive way? What a message for a child to receive.
Yeah. Just already having that gratitude for what you already have. Yes. Fantastic. I got to tell you this, because I like to pull things from all religions. I think that there's wisdom in all religions, and I don't subscribe to any dogma fully, because I think that there's beauty in all of it. But that being said, it's like, what are my beliefs? And it's constant evolution. And how do I integrate that into my teachings with my own kids? And how do we steer away from some of the traditions that I don't agree with completely, like the consumerism around Christmas? And so what I've started to implement in the last 2 years, I'm going to continue it this year, is I'm shifting away from like that Christmas model of consumerism. And Star Wars, of course, I'm going to bring this to Star Wars, but they celebrate Life Day. And we watch Lego Star Wars. That's our go-to show to watch, because I also like it. It's fun. We got the free makers and the Christmas special and stuff. But the Christmas holiday that they have on Star Wars, the little Lego cartoons, is Life Day. And it's just celebrating life. And it's beautiful. It's like everybody's just celebrating a birthday together, which it kind of is, right? It's like Life Day. So I've been gearing it more towards a Life Day celebration, to just switch that holiday mindset to be thankful for the life that we have. And I love it because they're already so integrated into that Star Wars mentality. They love the Force and they love the good and bad. And you know, I reference that a lot. So why not incorporate that into the holidays and to pass on those lessons with something that they already really feel and resonate with? Perfect. So we still call it Christmas, but oh yeah, let's watch the Life Day special on Star Wars. Oh yeah, this is what they're doing. And just pull those lessons out and apply them in real life. I think it's beautiful. I love it. It's great.
What I love about that too is, and you and I track the same way, although I was raised Lutheran, I rebelled against the absolute just crushing, you shall nots and the sin, and you're just evil, bad person, so come to the church.
Yeah.
I rebelled against that. And
Good
like
for you.
I began to study all of the world's religions. And I've literally studied all the major world's religions over the course of my life. And I came to realize something, that when you take away a lot of rhetoric and a lot of the twisting that fundamentalist people like to do, they like to read something and interpret it into their own thing. And now it's this, and it's another extreme, right? When you look at the tenets of all world religions, they're exactly the same.
Yeah. Golden rule.
It's about love and the golden rule. Exactly. And if we just live from that place, are we not connecting to something beyond the self? It doesn't matter what you call it anything, but it's something beyond you. And when we have something that's beyond us, we lift a burden off of our shoulders.
Yeah.
Many of us, and especially men and especially single dads, they take on the world, man. It's Atlas, and they are bent over and they're looking weary, not strong.
And they're just getting crushed.
Yeah, they're shaking, they're getting crushed. What if we decided that we could expand that consciousness just a bit? And what would it feel like to relieve some of that burden, that you don't necessarily have to be the martyr during the Christmas season? And maybe if you're separated and there's a little animosity about multiple households and all of this, how can we find ease and grace in that? Holding love and gratitude as our central place. That's what's beyond us. That's what's going beyond physical form. And imagine just moving through life with a single question when the holidays come up: what would love do? Because you're going to run into it. You're going to run into it. I promise you. If you haven't yet as a dad, it's coming. It's coming. And so what would love do from gratitude? Now, what we do is, all that pressure is happening. All that pressure. Oh, stimulus. If we don't have a buffer, we react. We get angry at the person who cut us off in traffic. It had nothing to do with them cutting you off in traffic. You were primed, man.
People are so angry at Christmas time when you're shopping. You see people lose their mind all the time. And I'm like, breathe, buddy, breathe. It's okay.
It's definitely, you don't need to knock that dude out because he grabbed the last purple Teletubby, okay? You don't have to do it. So if we can just get into this idea of what would love do and set that space before we even go out into the world to do whatever it is we're going to do, stimulus now has a buffer and we can respond. The
Yeah.
guy who cuts this off is like, oh man, I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. I hope something didn't happen that he's trying to rush to, send him a little blessing. It sounds corny, but I'm here to tell you this will profoundly change your life and how you move through the craziness of the added stuff that happens during this season.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's just so high strung. And sometimes just smiling at people can change it all. And I love doing it. I love doing it. I love being able to do it, to build that resilience bank up so that I'm not reactive in those situations. And it is so much fun. I love, okay, guys, we're going into the mall, and I'll get them to go in and let's just run. Let's just go nuts. And I really like this to take the kids in there and just for fun. And let's just walk around and be part of the Christmas craziness, and not necessarily go to shop or anything, but just to get in it and just have that experience with them in a crowded place and how to manage it, just so that they know, because it's a great opportunity for that. There's just so many opportunities to teach your kids how to act in situations. And if you're taking it as that, if you're always taking that responsibility of just like, how can I show my kids how to manage this situation? It's great, because shopping during the Christmas times, it's intense. How are you managing that? How are you managing your kids through that? Knowing that that's what you're going in to do. Not that you're going in there to like crush it, on the gift list, but go in there to be like, how am I going to manage my kids from one side of the mall to the other? Let's see if we can do this, and just make that the experiment. I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's so good, man. So good. And one of the things you can do, here's a really fun little tip for both you and your kids, right? There was a wonderful Indian guru who came to America to provide teaching in spirituality. And he was a combination of Hinduism and Christianity. He actually blended East and West. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda. And one of the things he said was, become a smile millionaire. And I
Nice.
love this idea, right? So one of the things you can do that's actually try this, just try it today. Your job today is to get as many smiles as you can manage. Just try to get people to smile.
Yeah.
And don't do it corny at all. Just do it from love. Just go in and just look at that person and smile. I'm batting 85 to 90% of people will return a smile to me. Some people are like, I'm not sure about that dude. He looks unhinged because he's smiling. But 85 to 90% will offer me a little smile, a little nod of the head.
Yeah.
I go in and I decided to get a warm drink for myself, and I'm in a coffee shop, and the barista is like stacked because it's the holidays, right? And they're running around, and maybe they got a cute little hat on for Christmas. I go, I love your hat. Thanks for bringing a smile to my day. And watch them smile. I
Yeah.
appreciate you working this hard. That is crazy. Here's a little extra for your tip jar. Thank you so much. And you're just spreading this joy. Bring your kids into the mall and say, your job is to get as many smiles as you possibly can. Go.
Go. Yeah. What a great exercise to put your kids through. Spread Christmas joy. What do we got to do?
Spread Christmas joy.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah. And now look, if this topics that Jay and I are kicking around right now, if some of these ideas are exciting to you, go play. Just go with a playful mindset, experiment a little, tweak it for you, right? Tweak it for you. What feels safe? And if right now you're going, these two guys are just, what the, I get
it all the time.
I'm tell you right now.
I get it all the time, Rodger. Constantly. This guy's crazy. What is he talking about? This is how I live, though. It's how I live. It's
well,
wild.
look, man, I love the color of the sky in your world. Okay, so
always blue skies, puffy clouds. It's snow out there right now.
And if you think this is a little over the top, and you're really not feeling well, the holidays are really coming down on you, I'm going to encourage you to reach out. Throw a lifeline out to friends, to mentors, to coaches, maybe even a therapist, to us, because getting perspective back is the key. And if you're really feeling a little bit down right now and just like, God, these guys, I don't know, that's a red flag, friends. That's a message from the body and the mind saying, you know what, I think I need a little help. And don't be shamed about that. We all have our moments. 2 days ago, I was in a raw place. Raw, man. Life just came at me from every
Hard.
side. I'm a fighter, you know that, dude.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
was beat down, beat down. So what did I do? Threw a lifeline out to one of my personal mentors and coaches, had a 90-minute conversation, turned myself around. I don't think I could have got there nearly that quickly. I'm a resilience coach. Bro, I do
There
it
you
for
are.
a living. So I'm here to tell you, sometimes a lifeline is very important. That's why Jay and I are here doing this with you now. We're tossing you a lifeline, new ideas, new creativity to move through life with a lot more ease and grace and be an amazing dad. That's what we're doing here. So if
Yeah.
we've torched you a little bit, if we set you off a little bit, think about a lifeline, friends. Seriously.
Yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, you've been that lifeline for me this week. And with all the craziness going on in my world, it's so nice to have that solid person to be like, I'm overwhelmed right now, like crazy. How am I going to get through this day? And sometimes just having that reframe and saying, okay, this is what you are capable of doing in the situation right now. These are your options. These are your things. And just like kind of getting that clarification on what's actually possible is beautiful, because you can't see the forest from the trees sometimes. And having that person is amazing. And that's what happens in the holidays a lot of time. You're just so overwhelmed with everything. It just comes on you. And then like one thing goes wrong and holy shit. And sometimes really big shit goes wrong. And then you're just tapped, completely tapped. And what do you do? So yeah, super, super big. But I love all of our aspects around the holidays and the support. And one last thing that I want to add in on this, because we've got some more things to talk about. I've got a couple other things and we'll see what we can get to, because let's try and keep this under an hour. But I've started to really focus on, instead of getting material objects, to have experiences for my kids, to find an experience that works for them. My son's birthday is on December 29th. And so like just going presents and then presents, it's like, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know anymore who got him what or where he got. Is it Christmas? Is it birthday? It's just a bunch of stuff. So that birthday is usually like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the water slides? Do you want to go to this? Do you want to have like an experience? Like, what is it that would be really awesome to go and do together? And that's become really kind of a staple for his birthday now, because it's just too overwhelming for kids to get all of this stuff. You do them a favor and just lower the amount of stuff that they get. Give them an experience, give them some memories, have some fun with them, cut out that chunk of time just to enjoy the experience. So I think that's my last Christmas tip that I'm giving out there.
I think that's really beautiful because, the truth is, I'll tell you, the only presents I ever remember getting were the ones someone made for me,
Yeah, they're
right?
the most impactful.
And the experiences that I had.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's what
I've
your
got
kids
one
want.
last.
That's
It's
what your kid wants.
one. You're gonna, I mean, that you cherish that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I've got one more Christmas tip. One of the fun things we did was we had this ugly, ugly bulldog. It's a little bulldog statue.
Okay.
And we would gift it every year to someone in the family.
Somebody new
And
got it.
how you gifted it was up to you completely. Sometimes people had to go on a treasure hunt while everyone else is opening presents.
Yeah.
And it might lead you all over the house. Sometimes you had to drive somewhere and get the next clue, right? And
Yeah.
all of that to receive the ugly dog. And it's like, and you had to keep that sucker for a year and think about who you were going to get next year to give the ugly dog to. And you had to be creative about how you did it.
Yeah.
So it just didn't keep looking the same every year.
Yeah.
That also brought a lot of fun and joy. Oh, so and so got the ugly dog. That's awesome. And once again, we're just stoking joy.
Stoking joy, having fun. It's about having fun. It's about
Yeah,
having
man.
fun. Crazy. Okay, that's awesome. I love that. I love all of these reflections. I mean, I could talk about Christmas and holidays, and I mean, we're going to do another thing in 2 weeks. I'm sure we'll talk about some more Christmas holiday stuff and what's coming up around that.
I've
And
got a big one, Jay.
yeah, what do you
I've
got?
got a big one I'd like to talk about in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. What is it? What is it? Any preview?
It's about Santa.
Oh,
And
perfect.
how do you handle the
Santa.
myth that is Santa?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
let's
yeah.
dive into that one.
I
Let's
got
dive
some
into that.
juicy stuff there for you, baby.
Perfect. Okay, but I got two other people. Let's see if we can wrap our heads around this one. And it was actually from a mom. And I saw this comment and it was like, wow, that would be a great one just to tackle. And I want to see what Rodger says about this. But it's this mom said, I'm married for 7 years. We've got two kids. They're really young. And we were high school sweethearts. And it feels like my life is on autopilot now. And I'm just bored. I'm bored out of my mind. And the sex isn't that good. And is this just what it is? Is this just the life? And, we're taking stuff in from dads all the time, but I thought this was just something from a different perspective to talk about, because what is it like as we're overwhelmed with all the things that we have to do as dads, and Christmas comes and this comes, and then you're still like, well, I've got to entertain my wife who's bored. And, she's not, I saw it from a point of view, from the man's point of view of, this is my wife posting this stuff. And how would I feel about it? And what's going on there? And I was like, wow, let's dig into that. And what do you think? Like, I'm bored as fuck with my husband and my life. I've got two small kids. Is this it? Is this all that I'm signed up for? What do you think about that? What an amazing episode. Wasn't that awesome? Now we know all about Christmas and what to do and how to do all of the things around buying gifts. And that last question is kind of a cliffhanger, eh? So if you want to know what Rodger says, and believe me, it's really good, check out the next episode about what it is that you do as a man when your wife is bored and she's bored with the sex, and is this all there is? We dig in that to the next episode. So until then, stay Zen, my friends, and subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the things that we're doing. Cheers.